صلى الله وسلم وبارك على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. It is without no doubt that we live in a changing world. 20 years ago, the Berlin Wall, the Iron Curtain, fell down, and no one had ever anticipated this. The Soviet Union does not exist any longer. So many changes that had taken place. We live in a world where things are taking place in a very fast pace, to the extent that in some cases it is difficult, if not impossible, to catch up with these changes. Everyone around us is asking us to change. Long ago, when there was only radio, it was said that we needed 50 or 40 years to reach an audience of 50 million. And when TV came, it took about 14 years to reach an audience of 40 million. And with the internet, it took only 4 years or less to reach this number of audience. So we are living in an ever-changing world. And everyone says we have to adapt. Muslims have to change. So what is the concept of change in Islam? Change, from an Islamic point of view, is neither negative or positive. It depends on the context this change is taking place. For example, one of the most positive changes that the world has ever encountered was the Prophet ﷺ, the catalyst of change, whom Allah the Almighty sent to the worlds to transform them and to get them out from darkness into light. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah the Almighty sent him to change the world, but also to improve and develop as well. The Prophet tells us about himself, alayhi salatu wassalam, I was merely sent to perfect the moral conduct, to perfect the ethics of the people. Which means that before he was sent, the Arabs had moral conduct. They had good manners in a sense, but there were things missing. So the Prophet ﷺ was sent to complete, develop, and improve, to change these conducts to go in line with the Quran and Sunnah. Among the positive change that is instructed and requested by Islam is the change of evil and the enforcement of virtue and good. The Prophet says, alayhi salatu wassalam, whoever among you see an evil action, then let him change it with his hand. So the Prophet is ordering us, alayhi salatu wassalam, change the evil action you see with your hand. And this, of course, is limited to those who have power over the people who are doing this evil. So I have power over my children. I can change it with my hand. I have power over my subordinates in my company. I can change it by hand. I have power over my subjects if I'm a ruler or a governor. So I can change it by hand. The Prophet goes on to say, alayhi salatu wasalam, if he cannot, then with his tongue, by speaking out. So if I don't have control over a person, I cannot change this evil action by hand, I should do this by advice. I should speak out and say, this is haram, this is a sin, this is forbidden, you are doing an evil act, you should refrain from it. And the Prophet goes on to stage number 3, where he says, alayhi salatu wasalam, and if he cannot, then with his heart, and that is the weakest of faith. So if you see something that is wrong, you must not sit down. You have to leave. If you cannot change it with your hand, and if you cannot speak out, then you must change it with your heart, and this is done by leaving away from the place this evil act is taking place.